there. Hey you, what up? I'm Maryam, welcome to my channel. Or welcome back if you've seen me before. In today's video, I'm doing another Faves X Fails Roundup video talking about all of my favorite and not so favorite products in beauty and makeup that have or have not worked for me. So this is your compilation video, hoping to save you time and money so that you don't buy things until I try them and so that you are well informed. So with that said, let's get into this video. Remember to subscribe, hit that notification bell so you can see all of my Wednesday and Sunday videos. I have not skipped a Wednesday or a Sunday video in about a year and a half, so if you have skipped on some videos, you should totally catch up. And with that said, let's get into this Faves X Fails, because you can't have good without evil, and you can't have faves without fails. The first product that I wanted to mention in today's Faves X Fails is a skincare product. You know I'm not someone who subscribes to skincare reviews. Instead, I like to just show you what has worked for me. In case you are an oily, acne-prone skin type like me, then maybe perhaps it'll also work for you. So the first product that I have been loving this past month is this Peach and Lily Glass Skin Refining Serum with this cute peach cap. Peach and Lily is a K-beauty brand, and what this serum is supposed to do is basically give you optimum hydration while also perfecting your skin texture. Now there's a lot of claims with this product, but what I specifically like about this serum is how it almost has like a primer component to it. It does perfect the skin almost immediately. It gives it that super slippery dolphin skin-like finish, and it helps your foundation or your follow-up products apply on a lot smoother and easier. Plus it absorbs super quickly, it minimizes the appearance of your pores. It doesn't minimize your pores, it just minimizes the appearance. And it's just a product that I've been using a lot lately underneath my makeup application. So this product is $39. Not cheap, but not super pricey, and you can probably already see the effect on my skin immediately. It just looks a little bit more luminous and a little bit fresher and healthier. I do have a bunch of breakouts on my face. I guess the weather is changing. I guess maybe this week has been a little bit more stressful for me, so my skin's reacting. It's telling its story, you know? The next thing that I want to reach for today is this IT Cosmetics Bye Bye Breakout. Now this is not a brand new product. This is something that has been around for a while. It's actually an oldie but a goodie type of product. And basically what it is, it's a full coverage treatment concealer. So it helps cover up your spots while also healing them. This is something that I don't often talk about because I usually like to apply it way before my makeup, but I did mention it in my IG stories Get Ready With Me earlier this week. A lot of people had questions, so I figured I'll also talk about it on here. Even though this is not a new product, this is something that works and I reach for often. As with all the products that I'm loving, I'm going to add the links down in the description below so that you guys can check them out as well if you are interested. So with this product, what I like to do is just apply the concealer generously to my spots, let them sit there for a sec, and then I just buff them out with a brush. Today I'm using the Rare Beauty concealer brush, which is absolutely a fave this month. This brush reminds me of the Pat McGrath concealer brush, except it's a little bit bigger and the ferrule, whatever, is a lot longer. The brush handle is a lot longer, so it allows you to have a little bit more control with it. You can stipple the product on, blend it out, and if you want to go for like a no makeup look, a good concealer and a good concealer brush will help you achieve that, because all you need to do is blend it out. So that is what I'm doing right now. So now this treatment concealer, as you can see, it dries down kind of matte. So what I like to do is just let it sit for a little bit and then apply the rest of my makeup, such as primer, such as foundation, powder, all that good stuff. So while I do that, I want to talk about this next really awesome thing that I received in the mail from YESSTYLE, and I was so eager to talk about it, but I couldn't talk about it until October 6th, which is when you can pre-order it. But let me just show you rather than tell you. Oh, you're perfect. You're perfect. I love you.
All right.
Oh, you're such an amazing swatch model slash barista. All right, back to what I was mentioning. Kaboom, you guys. So here we have a Jet Set Glow advent calendar from YESSTYLE featuring all their best-selling K-beauty skincare and makeup. I have not been this excited to open up a product in a long time. Look how freaking cool this is. Basically, this is inspired by travel and by a luggage set, which of course we cannot be traveling this year, so this is hopefully going to revive some of those feelings. Jesus Christ, this is really heavy. Oh, okay. Here we have a whole bunch of positive phrases in different languages. So I'm obviously not gonna go ahead and open up all of these 24 boxes for you. Instead, I'll actually open it up after I do this video, and I'll include a picture of everything that is included. All right, advent calendar is unboxed. Let's take a look at everything that we have here. So there are 24 items all together, and some of the boxes actually include multiple of the same item, such as this pink raccoony hydrogel eye and cheek patch. There's 5 of those. This foot mask, there's 3 of those. And this Neogen Dermology probiotics relief mask, there's 5 of those. There's also enough makeup in here and enough skincare to balance everything out and make it a really cohesive K-beauty advent calendar. So this to me is absolutely worth the $160 or $169 that is the asking price for this whole advent calendar. I think it would make a great gift, not just for yourself, but for your loved ones. And I am really pleasantly surprised by what's inside. Can't wait to try all of these out. But basically, what's so cool about this is that this box is valued at over $400. However, the price is actually $160, $170. So basically, it's about a third of the value. To me, this advent calendar is something that's really cool. I've seen so many advent calendars from so many Western brands, but I've never seen one featuring so much K-beauty. So for those of you who might be into K-beauty, their skincare and the makeup, then this will be totally up your alley. So now that this concealer and the Peach and Lily Glass Skin Serum have had a chance to marry, I think I'm ready to apply the rest of my makeup. And so the first thing that I want to do is apply my actual next fave, which happens to be a primer. Yes, you heard me correct. I'm talking about this Rare Beauty Illuminating Primer Base. I will admit, this is a product that I didn't immediately love because I didn't immediately get it. This is a very luminous type of primer, so something that me and my oily skin aren't necessarily used to. However, after testing it out underneath various different types of foundation, I realized that this is actually a really great brightening, illuminating primer that gives you this dewy type of skin finish. So what I like to do with this primer is kind of apply that to all the areas that I want to be lit from within, such as the tops of my cheekbones, my temples. I even go a little bit underneath the eye and across the eye, down the nose bridge, a bit on the chin, a bit on the jaw. When I first tried this product in my Rare Beauty first impressions and review video, I was like, whoa, this is really, really metallic. But then I realized that this isn't one of those creams that stays super creamy. It actually dries down to a nice workable finish, and it doesn't feel too tacky or too creamy or too oily. It's actually just the perfect texture to apply underneath foundation. So that is what I am going to do next. But before I go into the next product, since I'm on the topic of Rare Beauty and this was such a big launch this month, I do want to mention that not everything was up my alley. So for example, this Always an Optimist 4-in-1 mist, which is supposed to be a setting spray, also a priming spray, a refreshing spray, and a fourth type of spray. Didn't really work for me. As you can see, there's a lot of oily bubbles here. So unfortunately, this type of consistency isn't something that works for me or my oily skin. This is just too dewy for me. I feel the same way about the Tatcha Luminous Spray. Now this is something that I could probably spray on my body in case I want a little extra hydration, but not something that I can spray over my makeup to keep it nice and set. This, in fact, I found to be makeup breaking. Basically, this is not for my face. But what was meant for me this month was this CoverGirl Clean Fresh powder. Now I have it in 2 shades, tan and translucent, and I swear to you, the translucent one really does remind me of the Pat McGrath under eye setting powder that I love to use under my eyes to brighten and to set this whole under eye area and also the pore zones. This, I would say, is very, very similar, but at a fraction of the cost. So what I'm gonna do today is set my pore zones. So instead of applying my pore filling primer, I'm gonna use this powder and just set this area. Do you see how it just disappears into nothingness? Like it doesn't leave a film or a powdery residue. It feels microfine, and it's also a drugstore product, so it's very affordable. Now, just with this combination of products that I've applied so far, I would honestly feel comfortable walking outside and going to the store and not feel ashamed to be in my skin, even though I am breaking out right now and my skin is somewhat flared up. But this, plus this, plus this, plus this, these 4 products have been pairing really well for me. Moving right along, let's talk about my favorite foundation for the month. COLOURPOP Pretty Fresh Hyaluronic Hydrating Foundation has been the one for me. I've been using the shade Medium 100W for warm, and it's been surprisingly, actually I'm not really that surprised because my skin is very oily, and oily skins in general just love hyaluronic acid for some reason. So whenever a foundation is infused with hyaluronic acid, that's when I know that it will keep my skin's oils at bay and it'll wear really well, while also balancing my skin, giving it that necessary hydration. I do have a review on this foundation and also a wear test, which by the way is probably one of the best foundation wear tests I've ever conducted. So you can definitely check out that video afterwards if you want to see for yourselves. I've also really been loving this L11 brush from Laura Lee Los Angeles. It's just such a great flat kabuki foundation brush. It is honestly comparable to my IT Cosmetics Complexion Perfection. The bristles are very dense and very soft, so they give that airbrush type of finish to your foundation application, which is what we want. So the coverage on this foundation is medium to full, more on the full side than on the medium side, but it's definitely buildable and it can be sheared out. You can definitely stipple on a little bit more coverage to those areas that need coverage, or use a smaller, more precise brush to kind of just blend everything out, which is what I'm doing now. I'm going back to the Rare Beauty brush and I'm making sure that I'm blending this foundation into my hairline and around my laminated brows. So for my concealer this month, I'm still loving the same NARS Soft Matte Concealer that I mentioned in my previous Faves X Fails video for the month of August. So I guess now is a good opportunity to talk about a fail. I did not love this CoverGirl Clean Fresh Concealer. Even though I love the powder so much, I love the translucent and the tan version of this powder. I swear the translucent one is a dupe for Pat McGrath Under Eye Setting Powder. This concealer is not a dupe for anything good. Unfortunately, this felt very transparent for me, so it didn't really work to cover up my acne, blemishes, imperfections, or even to brighten my under eye. When I tried to brighten my under eye, it actually still showed the darkness, except it just illuminated it. So this was not a hit for me. This was kind of just like a waste of a product. But the Clean Fresh powder is great. Matter of fact, I just applied my concealer and set this whole under eye area, and it truly just helped bring the look to life. I also love the tan version of this one. This is the shade that I use for my all over powder, and also for just a little subtle contouring and color. So this I recommend. Next up, let's talk brows. So I already have my brows laminated, as I've been doing in my previous 17 videos, it seems like. I've been using this Benefit 24-Hour Brow Setter. Not a new product, but I've been using it a lot lately. I feel like this is a very strong brow gel. But to fill in my brows, I'm gonna talk about a fail and also a fave. My fave this month has been the KEVYN Aquan. I'm searching for it in my tray here. Oh, here you are. It's such a tiny little pencil, which is why sometimes it's a little difficult to locate it. Basically, it has no cap, so you don't have to worry about that. The packaging is really genius, because all you have to do is untwist, and you have a good amount of product, a very precise pencil on one side, and a spoolie to brush out the brows on the other side. I'm not gonna use the spoolie today, but I am gonna use the pencil side to fill in and draw some microscopic hair strokes. I love the shade Dark Brunette because it's a very cool brown, which matches the natural color of my brows. Just gonna fill it in a little bit. Extend my brow wherever it needs that extra filling. And like that, very easy but very effective. Now on the flip side, I wasn't a fan of the Rare Beauty brow product. So this is a brow gel on one side, but this is a tinted brow gel. So this isn't something that you could necessarily use to brush out the pencil side. And the thing that I don't love about the pencil is honestly how thick it is. So this is one of those teardrop shaped type of brow pencils that only worked the very first time that you try it. And it's really hard to get this product or this pencil back into the teardrop shape after you've tried it just one time. So to me, it's kind of like a pointless product Yes, you can fill in your brows, but you can't really be precise with it unless it's your first time using it. No, you can't really brush it out to make it look natural. Yes, you can use the gel side, but I just didn't think this was very well thought out. And just not something that I would personally reach for. I much prefer a micro fine brow pencil to actually define the brows with a spoolie so I can brush them out for a natural look, as opposed to a really thick, heavy pencil to give you those block brows from like 2012, I don't know. Speaking of KEVYN, I am such a fan of this Glass Glow Face Illuminator. This is a gorgeous product. I mean, feels like a gloss, comes out like a gloss, but then it glides onto your cheekbones almost like a serum without disrupting your foundation underneath, while still giving you that wet Vaseline-like glow. And it also has a hint of color. This one being solar quartz, so it's kind of like a yellow gold, but not too yellow and not too gold, just very wearable and very gorgeous. It also has just a hint of shimmer, so it's a little bit more interesting than your everyday balm or gloss for the cheekbones. Doesn't feel super duper sticky, but feels actually a little bit more like an oil. So that in itself, I think, makes it just a little bit more versatile. On the other hand, I gotta mention a fail. And this by no means was a product that I absolutely hated. It just wasn't as great as what I had just showed. So in the same category, I just was not loving Makeup by Mario's Master Secret Glow. I know this looks like just an empty pan, and I did review this product in my Makeup by Mario video. This, unfortunately, is, I hate to say it, but it's kind of gimmicky to me. First of all, it's just like a teeny tiny bit of product. Secondly, although it feels okay on the skin and it doesn't disrupt your foundation similarly to the KEVYN, this you absolutely cannot wear if you have your hair down, because it is very sticky and you kind of gotta be careful. This has to be like the last product that you apply. Otherwise, if you do anything else to your face, products will stick to it. This Master Secret Glow highlighter in expensive was just a little too expensive for the payoff. However, let me tell you, the Makeup by Mario launch was absolutely my favorite launch for the month. First, I was really excited for Rare Beauty, but once Makeup by Mario came out with his collection, I absolutely forgot about Rare Beauty because his just took over everything. To me, this was the one collection that really spoke to me, and I thought it just was handled and presented very, very well. So with that said, I am going to zoom in on the eyes first and foremost, because we're getting into the eye category. And I also want to talk about some of the palettes that I loved and didn't love this month. Hi. Damn, I got a big face. All right, so now that we have zoomed in, I do want to mention that the Makeup by Mario palettes were absolutely my favorites this month. I loved the Master Metallics, the Master Mattes, and the Master Metals. I just thought the formulas of all three were excellent. I understood Mario's point of view. I saw his perspective as a makeup artist, wanting to make it very attainable for the everyday makeup consumer. I really appreciated that artistry meets your everyday person. So I will be using those palettes in just a sec, but first, I want to talk about a couple of other favorites for the month. In my last video, I reviewed ColourPop Hocus Pocus collection, specifically the eyeshadow palette that was actually really, really great quality, and the color scheme, the whole color compilation was very much inspired by the movie and by the colors worn in the movie by the sisters. So to me, this was very much a hit. Also, the price was right for $22 for 15 eyeshadows. Another palette that I loved this month was NATASHA Denona's Glam Palette, because it was one of the first cooler palettes that we've seen on the makeup market. Now, this is one of her cheaper palettes, $65, 15 pans, neutral mattes, some cooler mattes, some shimmery shades. And this was honestly the kind of quality that you always expect from NATASHA. This was excellent, and it's something that I'm going to continue reaching for. I also really like the Khaki Haze palette from Huda Beauty's Haze Obsessions palettes. This was great, very cute, $35. Great shimmery shades, really nice mattes also. Unfortunately, I didn't love all of them. The Purple Haze was okay. It was like a muted purple that we've seen before, but the Sand Haze was kind of just like a snooze fest. A little boring in my opinion, a little bit predictable, and also some of the colors were so pale that they didn't even show up on my skin tone. Now, this may come as a surprise to some of you, but I gotta say, I wasn't a huge fan of the Mother Pat Rose Decadence palette. Yes, I know the packaging is really gorgeous, and yes, the quality is really good, but this $65 palette with 6 shades in comparison to Natasha's $65 palette with 15 shades, I mean, it's another no-brainer. Perhaps this would be a fave in another month because the quality is good, but this month there were a lot of really good palettes, so this one just did not hit the mark. It came in like number 5, which unfortunately puts it in the fails category because there were far more superior palettes out there this month. Sorry, Mother Pat. Also, really was not impressed by the Illuminating Maquillage Neon Rage palette. The quality on this was very par. Possibly even subpar, honestly. I actually don't even want to talk about it anymore because it's not really very exciting. So I'm gonna set those aside and I'm gonna move on to the things that do excite me. So for today's look, I'm gonna keep it simple. I'm gonna use some Mario, perhaps some Natasha, maybe even some Sisters. But first I want to prime my lids. Fenty Beauty Primer is what it is, and it is what it has been for a while. You guys, there's another fail that I forgot about. I wrote it here on my list. And the reason why I forgot to mention it is because I literally forgot about whether I like this product or not. That's how much of a snooze fest it was. Sorry, I'm so sorry, but I'm talking about this Catrice Clean ID Hydro BB Cream. I literally had to rewatch my own video in which I used this product to remember whether I liked it or not. Clearly, I did not like it. It was one of those products that in the video I said I'll probably never reach for again. It's just like a very sheer, balmy type of BB cream that didn't really do much for my skin. And I forgot to mention it again. That's how little of an impression it has made on me. Also, there was a really funny typo in the description of the product right here on the back. That's actually the most memorable thing about this product. All right, now back to the eyes. Yes. Let's do some Master Metallics today on the eyes. I do find that his palettes don't have a distinguishing feature about them. They all look the same, so I constantly have to turn them around and look at the fine print that tells me what each one is. That, by the way, some people thought that this was very cheapy kind of packaging, and I completely disagree. This is very chic and sleek, and it feels luxe to me. This isn't your paper packaging, guys. This costs a lot more to make than this. Today, I want to go for a little drama, so I'm gonna reach for this shade here. It's a very duochromatic type of color. I see some peach and gold and also some pink. On my skin, it almost looks like a dusty rose or a rose gold type of color. But in any case, it is brilliant and it is beautiful. I love how easily it glides onto my lids. I love the formulation of these. This is a slurry formula, which means that it's equal parts cream and powder. I mean, honestly, just one swipe of that and it's already a look. Just gonna take a Laura brush, blend out those edges. I'm gonna reach for the Master Mattes, this shade here. This shadow palette is great too, because this one was inspired by skin tones. In my video, I said that I thought it was something unique and something that hasn't been done before. I got a number of comments, kind of like cynical comments saying, oh, neutrals have not been done before? And what I meant to say was that when I first opened this up, this honestly reminded me of a concealer palette. But in fact, these are all powders. So no, it has not been done before, not this well, and not to this point. I've never seen a collection of eyeshadows that actually look like concealers, aka skin tones. And to me, that was something that felt different. So don't come for me, you know what I mean. I'm gonna grab one more shade from the Mario palette, and it's this black. I'm gonna just use this to deepen my outer corner. I love how well all these shadow formulations are working together. All right, I'm just using a clean brush to clean up and kind of extend that outer corner into almost a wing. And then I'm gonna pick up this Night of Frolic from the ColourPop Hocus Pocus collection. I'm gonna add that to my lower lash line for just some color. I'm gonna use the same brush, making sure everything is flowing in the same direction. And then back to the Mario Black for a little more emphasis right here on the bottom. Good enough. All right, what can we use this Glam palette for? How about this inner corner shade right here? Bam, with that silver pop on the center lid. Boom. You weren't expecting that, were you? God, I love when formulas are great. All right, this month I am loving House of Lashes X Patrick Ta lashes. Specifically the She Doesn't Need Much individual lashes and also the It's a Look. Lashes are on. I added some mediums and just one set of long lashes from the House of Lashes X Patrick Ta. She doesn't need much lashes. And although I didn't need much, I felt like what I added was actually necessary and needed. I like these lashes a lot more than the regular individuals because I do feel like they're a little bit fuller. So they don't look super spiky and they just blend in with my natural lashes a lot better while making my lashes look super full. Speaking of lashes, I did not love the ColourPop X Hocus Pocus Boss Witch lashes. I just thought they were too flimsy, too natural to be representing Hocus Pocus. I was expecting something a lot more whimsical and dramatic given that it is witches and it's such an iconic movie. Unfortunately, these were kind of a bummer and I'll probably never reach for them again. They were just a little too boring. But back to some faves. I am obsessed with this KEVYN Divine Lip Liner. It is just such a great shade of nude. Let me show you rather than tell you. Not only is the pencil super creamy and the color is super flattering, but it also has a lip brush on the other end, so you can smudge out the lip liner and actually wear it as a lipstick, which I could do today, but I have another fave that I want to share with you, and it is this 3CE STYLENANDA lipstick in the shade Mirrorlike. Now, all these lipsticks from this specific collection are absolutely breathtaking and gorgeous. They are not new. They've been around for a while. This is what the shade looks like. It's kind of like Your Lips But Better type of color. At least that's how it appears on my lips. It's a little bit more pink than this neutral lip color, so what I'm going to do is apply it K-Beauty style to the center of my lips, like a lollipop lip. And the effect is just really lovely. It's very pillowy, very petal-like kind of lip combo that I love. With that said, here is my final faves, but not fails, makeup look featuring all the products that I love this month. Personally, I really like this look, and I know why. It's because I used all of my favorite products from the month. So things that I have been reaching for constantly, things that I already know how to use very well, things that I know pair together well, and things that overall enhance my appearance rather than take away from it. So this is what these videos are all about. I just want to share with you what has worked for me so that hopefully it can work for you and it can save you time and money searching for things that you may or may not like. And with that said, I am going to zoom on out so that you can check out my next two videos, one that you may like and another one that is my recent video. I love you guys. Remember to subscribe. Mwah.